It came to pass that ambassadors and messengers came from Lucius, Emperor of Rome, and commanded Arthur to pay tribute to Lucius, or war would be made against him. Then Arthur called together all his lords and knights of the Round Table to advise him on the matter. All said that the demand for tribute was unjust, and every man agreed to make war in Arthur's behalf. And so King Arthur determined to go to Rome and by the grace of God to take possession of the Roman Empire. Then King Arthur made ready his plans and armies. With a great multitude of ships, galleys, boats, and men of war, he set sail upon the English Channel. When they arrived in France on their way to Rome, a shepherd came to Arthur and told him that for 7 years a fearful giant had been ravaging the countryside, murdering and devouring many people. Lately he had seized the Duchess of Brittany and had carried her away. More than 500 people followed, but not all of them together could rescue her.
Alas, I would give the best realm that I own to rescue that lady. Now, fellow, canst thou bring me there where the giant is?
Yes, sir. Look yonder, where thou seest those 2 great fires. There thou shalt find him and more treasure than there is in all of France.
Then the king returned into his tent and made ready horse and armor. And when this was done, he rode forth with 2 of his knights till they came to the foot of the mountain where lived the giant. Then Arthur alone ascended the hill, till he came to a great fire and found a widow wringing her hands, sitting by a new-made grave. King Arthur saluted her, and asked her why she was in such great sorrow.
Sir Knight, speak quiet, for yonder is the devil. If he hear thee speak, he will come and destroy thee. O unhappy man, what dost thou here on this mountain? If ye were 50, such as ye be, ye were not able to make resistance. Here lies the Duchess dead, who was the fairest of all the world. The monster hath murdered her.
Dame, I come to do battle with that tyrant.
Beware, approach him not too near, for he hath vanquished 15 kings, and made a coat of precious stones embroidered with their beards.
Well, for all your words, I will accomplish my task.
Then he went forth with the crest of the hill and saw the giant as he sat at supper. He was gnawing a huge bone and baking his broad limbs by the fire, while 3 fair damsels turned 3 spits. Arthur hailed the giant, saying,
God give thee short life and shameful death. Why hast thou slain the Duchess? Arise and make ready, thou villain, for this day thou shalt die at my hand.
I am the giant, and no one dares to fight me. Show yourself.
The giant started up at once, and he took a great club in his hand. With it he smote at the king, so that Arthur's helmet was crushed. The king hit the giant and wounded him sorely. Then the giant threw away his club and caught the king in his arms, crushing some of his ribs. The king wrestled and fought, so that sometimes he was under and sometimes above. And thus, wrestling and striving, they rolled down the hill. Ever as they wrestled, Arthur struck at the giant with his dagger, again and again. And thus they came to the place where Arthur's 2 knights were waiting with his horse. When they saw the king caught in the giant's grip, they came and set him free. So many times had Arthur smote the giant with his dagger that the foul creature at last lay dead. And it was immediately known all throughout the country that Arthur had slain the giant, wherefore the people came and thanked the king. But he answered,
Give thy thanks to God.
Then the king and his 2 men returned to Arthur's camp, where his knights were glad to see him. When they heard of his terrible adventure, they marveled that he would put himself in such danger. But all men of honor said it was merry to be under such a chieftain, who would risk his person in adventures as other poor knights did.